Battle Spirits Saga is almost among us, and I'm so excited to see what we're going to do. It's my first journey into a different card game that isn't Digimon and Vanguard for a while, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Today we're going to be taking a look at the deck that I've been playing across this, I guess, pre-release trial period, but let's be honest, the set comes out in like 2 weeks, so it is what it is. We're going to take a look at the cards that I've been playing, and this little guy here, the little penguin. I'm very excited to see what goes on with it. Okay then everyone, so as I showed you in the beginning, we got a little penguin. But we're going to get into the deck profile that I have, and it is basically a yellow rush, which is very interesting. Now, I'm not typically one to be playing rush decks, but then again, I've been playing All Force recently and Digimon, so I can't really talk. But we're going to take a look at it, and it is yellow. And yellow is known for taking a lot of 2-cost spirits and a lot of 2-cost things and utilizing that quite heavily. So as we saw already, again, we've got 4 of Prince Petan. Prince Petan is when you summon him, level 1, 2, or 3, you can reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a 2-cost, add it to your hand. Goes in very nicely with the rest of this deck. As you can see here, we are running 4 Caldreus. And Caldreus is a level 1 core for level 1, and 3 cores for level 2. At his level 2, when the spirit attacks, Luster. Now, for those of you that don't know what Luster is, it's a beautiful skill that means that if you use a spell card? I forgot what they're called. A magic card in battle, once the battle ends and if Caldreus survives, that magic card is then added back to your hand no matter what. You do not get the refund cost, but you do get the magic card back to your hand. Sticking with the bird for Petan Chick. Petan Chick is a 2-cost drop, 1 reduction, 1 core for level 1 and 3 cores for level 2. At level 2, during your turn, when you use a magic card, count each symbol on your Lyric Bird spirits as 2 symbols. That's very strong. That's reducing the cost of your spells drastically. Now, to see what a Lyric Bird is, we can see in the top right-hand corner underneath the name, there is Lyric Bird under Petan Chick. Caldreus is a Lyric Bird, and so is Prince Petan. All 3 of these that I've shown you so far are Lyric Birds, meaning that their 1 symbol effectively counts as 2. Now, 1 more Lyric Bird that we have in this deck is Petan himself. Not Prince Petan, not Petan Chick, but Petan himself. He is, of course, a 2-drop 1 reduction. 1 core for level 1, 2 for 2, and 3 for 3. But then his skill, at level 2 or 3, no matter what, anytime in the turn, can reduce the cost of your first magic card of the turn by 1, just by having him as level 2. Now there's 4 Lyric Birds right there. You're talking massive reduction, especially if you have 2 Petans and a Petan Chick, and you've got other shenanigans on the board. Beautiful. Now we're starting to look at how this deck gains utility. Now, as with Battle Spirits, your life isn't just your utility, you've also got your reserve cores, you've got your other spirits, you've got your magic, and all of that sort of stuff. But Freezetal here comes from the starter deck, if I am speaking correctly, I believe so. He's a 2-cost, 1 reduction, yellow spirit. During either attack step at level 1 or 2, you're allowed to draw a card if one of your spirits that costs 2 is destroyed in battle. Now, this has to be via BP comparison, your attack comparison. This cannot be if it gets magicked down or if it gets just taken out randomly. That's the one problem, but you are able to draw cards no matter what. And if you're continuing to swing aggro style many times over with all of your 2 costs, then you're going to be able to draw a ton of cards. Not only do we have just yellow spirits, but we also have the 2-cost Flamefish here, who is a red 2-cost, and his ability that when he's destroyed, level 1, 2, or 3, if he has the Soul Core on him, select one of your opponent's spirits that cost 4,000 or less, and destroy it. That's huge. You're basically taking out your opponent's resources because you've decided to block with Flamefish, or you've decided to swing and your opponent's blocked it. Very strong. And we're running 4 of each of those, by the way. So we're looking at 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 2-cost spirits. That's huge. Starting to look at the top end here, we are going to run 4 of Wonderland Alice. A beautiful card that works perfectly with yellow, because she is a 6-cost 3 reduction, which is not bad at all. But when the spirit attacks, select one of your opponent's spirits and reduce its BP by 1,000 for each spirit in your control. That's huge. If you've got one of each of these, for example, just off the top row of the Lyric Birds, we're looking at 4,000, and Alice herself, 5,000 BP reduced from one of your opponent's spirits. And again, if spirits hit 0 BP, they die. It's insane. But this is where her main thing comes in. Her level 3, which she only needs 3 cores for, by the way, very strong. During either attack step, if you control 3 or more spirits, when the spirit would be destroyed, you may place a core from Void onto Wonderland Alice to keep it on the field in exhausted state, which is your tapped or your suspended state for those of you who play other games. She's going to be able to survive getting attacked no matter what. And even then, she's got 7,000 BP to be able to keep surviving as well. So if something only takes off 4,000 BP, for example, she's going to be living. Now, our final spirit on the top end is Godbeast Behemoth. We're only running 2 of these. This is what I found that has worked best for me, and I'm primarily used this card as a finisher card. Now, Godbeast has a little bit of a caveat text here, where it's when summoning the spirit from your hand, you may use symbols from spirit cards in your trash that cost 2 in addition to spirits on the... in addition to symbols on the field. You may be wondering why I'm saying that's huge. Look at the majority of your deck. They're all 2 costs. Now, okay, Flamefish won't count, unfortunately, because it's a red, but if you're swinging with many of these 2 costs, Godbeast is going to be reduced to a 2 cost, because he's an 8 cost, 6 reduction. 1 core for level 1, 2 cores for level 2, and 3 for level 3, and he's an 11,000 attacker as well. Even then, at level 2 or 3, when the spirit attacks, your spirits with with a cost of 2, cannot be blocked by your opponent's spirits that are level 2 or higher for the turn. If your opponent doesn't have any level 1s, basically, they can't block your level 2s, or your 2 cost. I'm getting my words mixed up, right? It's insane. It's insane how well built this deck can be. And most of it comes from the starter deck, I'll be honest. Or you can build a starter deck variant. Just Godbeast and Alice are amazing tools that you're not going to want to pass up. So, let's get into our magics now. We're going to be running 2 Burning Force, just as a nice utility, that has a beautiful main effect to select a Nexus and destroy it. It's great against red, stops them from using Volcanic Canyon, and it stops purple from being able to continually draw on you when you attack. Its flash effect is, its main or flash effect is that you can select 2 of your opponent's spirits with 3,000 or less and destroy them. Just a straight up destroy. Beautiful, beautiful magic card. Not only that, but on top of the red, we're also running 2 Starblast Draw. Honestly, Starblast, it's a beautiful burst. You can just pop it when your opponent resolves a when summoned to draw 2 cards, and then you can pay 4 to draw 2 more. Nothing wrong with it. Even then, you can use it from hand to draw 2 cards if you feel like you need. Moving on to what I feel is one of the stronger cards in this deck, especially when it comes to using the Luster off of Caldrius. Royal Potion. Running 2 of them. I only have 1 ult up, the other is in the post. Don't hurt me, please. It's a very pretty alternate art card though. But Royal Potion, I'll use the non-ult so I can show you. It's a 5 cost 3 reduction magic card that its main or flash effect, you can refresh all your spirits that cost 2. Funnily enough, our deck is primarily built of 2 costs, as per stating earlier. It's just, you can swing. If you have a Caldrius on the back and it's level 2, use that as the last swing, and pop a Royal Potion on the Caldrius, if you have enough resource of course, to then restand everything and continually swing once again. No reason not to. We're now moving into one of the cards that I'm still 50-50 on. Exhaust Nexus. And this is another burst card that I have, that you can reduce all of your opponent's spirits BP by 1,000 for each Nexus they control, but then you can also reduce your BP by 3,000 of one of your opponent's spirits by paying the cost, which is a 7 cost, 5 reduction. That's where the Lyrical Bird stuff come into play, or the Lyric Birds even, same thing. But 2 amazing cards, 2 great utilities, and a beautiful burst all round. Speaking of reducing your opponent's BP, Angelic Pressure, once again, an amazing tactic to do with Luster off of your Caldrius, or even just to pop if you need. It's a 3 cost, 2 reduction, making it a potential 1 cost BP reduction. Now, everybody knows that this card is busted and that we need it. However, I only have 1, so Ice Shield I only have 1 of, but the reason I've stacked 3 others because you want to run 4 Ice Shield. Who doesn't? For those of you who don't know, Ice Shield is a beautiful burst that allows you to pop it when you lose a life, to then place a core from your reserve to your life, and then you can activate the cost, which is a 4 cost, or if you're playing white, it is a 4 cost 1 reduction, to end the attack step, therefore ending your opponent's turn, because the attack step is the last thing. So, absolute ice shield. You basically just don't take a damage for the turn. But for now, because I only have one, I'm replacing it with Ascension 0, which is another burst card that all of your opponent's spirits are treated as level 1 during this turn. You can then pay the cost of a 4-cost 4 reduction to select one of your spirits, and gain 2,000 for the turn. Obviously, I'd want to run Ice Shield over that, just because Ice Shield is more utility, and it keeps me alive, and it keeps the game going longer, which is beautiful. So, let's move on to the final 6 cards of the deck, and we are running 2 Volcanic Canyons. It's a nice Nexus. What is it with me in the alliteration here? It's a Nexus that allows you to draw an additional card at the beginning of your turn, which is during your draw step, but then you have to discard one as well. So really you're drawing 2, and then you're selecting the better card out of the 2 that you can keep, but then if you make it a level 2, only 1 core by the way, a level 2, you can give all of your spirits an additional 1,000 BP during your attack step. Nice. But the big kicker of this deck once again, Blessed Cathedral, or Blessed Cathedral, whatever, same thing. 4 cost, 1 reduction, so a 3 Nexus to drop. During either attack steps at level 1 or 2, you can place a core from your void into the reserve when one of your yellow spirits is destroyed. Now it doesn't have to be by battle, so it can be if it's spelled out, if it's magicked out, or some other random effect. Who knows? Who knows what's coming in this game? But you can gain a core from the void, so you're gaining resource. However, at 3 cores for level 2, you can additionally draw a card when a yellow spirit is destroyed. So you're not only you gaining a mana or a core or whatever, you're drawing hand power as well. I just can't believe how insane this deck is. You're going to be able to play all of your 2 costs and just keep swinging. So you're like, if you have Freeze Toll out and you have a Blessed Cathedral, you're potentially drawing 3 cards. I realise that's off camera, but you're potentially drawing 3 cards just off of 1 spirit attacking. It's kind of wild. But honestly, I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see what Battle Spirits has in store for us. Be sure to come say hi to me if you're in London. I will be playing at the shop in Shepherd's Bush, and I will be excited. And god damn, this game is cool. I really want to play it, and I cannot wait for the early adopters packs to come in. But as of right now, that is the deck profile. Thank you everybody so much for watching.